Hey everyone, it's Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting Co. I hope you're doing great today. Today's video is fairly quick, but it's a little different design. I'm kind of working on a bunch of different designs that are overall designs that go fast. We have, of course, our twisty and our picket fence and our skyline rulers, which mean they go really fast, but sometimes people like to kick things up a bit and combine a couple different rulers and make some different designs. So this is the design that I came up with this time. And then you can do it upside down either way. So this is our design. I hope that you enjoy this video. It's really a fairly quick one. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I hope you enjoy. So this is a super fun design. We're going to be using Beanie 8.4 and we're going to be using Cupid 5.3. Now you can do different combinations with this, and it's going to be a little different, as in we're stitching this one kind of upside down, and you'll see what I mean once we finish our first couple rows. So essentially you want your first line to be at the bottom of your quilt. So where we are stitching around the outside of this, the actual finished visual is going to be the other way, and you'll see what I mean as we go along here and why that is. So I'm going to be using Beanie 8.4. I've got my starter line marked on here. I'm going to start in the left-hand side here. I'm coming over this way a little bit more. Just going to do a couple locking stitches and pull up my bobbin thread here. So now I've got my bobbin thread. I'm going to pull that out of the way, do a couple more locking stitches, and then drop my needle back down again as always. And I'm just going to give these a little trim just to keep them not quite so long and in the way. So we're going to start by doing the outside of Beanie 8.4. And if you're new to beanies, the line that goes through the hole on the bottom here is our main reference line. So if I put that line on my marked line here, that is going to give me half of an 8-inch circle. So from here to here is going to be 8 inches from edge to edge stitched. The ruler itself will not measure 8 inches because, of course, we have to allow for the difference in the ruler foot. From the needle to the ruler foot is a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to stitch around, but I'm only going to stitch halfway. So I'm going to stitch up until the point of the halfway point on this ruler, which is where the maple leaf is. So I'm going to hold my ruler, and I'm going to really try not to turn my quilt. I just want to come up and stop at that point. So I've stopped at the center point of my ruler there. And I'm just going to move that ruler to the side. Now I'm going to take my Cupid 5.3. So that makes us have a circle. The inside heart will fit within a 3-inch block. The outside will fit within a 5-inch block. So what I want to do then is I want to use the inside part of Cupid 5.3. So I want to hook my ruler foot right in this little portion here. So it looks like that. And I want to make sure, I want to look down and make sure that I'm nice and square. So I want one of the horizontal lines, so above the word 5.3, I've got my sticky tape on there, but hopefully you can see, above the word 5, the number 5.3 is in alignment with this line here. And then I'm going to stitch around half that heart. And I'm going to stop when I reach that point. Then I'm going to grab my ruler, I'm going to flip it over to do the other side of our heart, hook it back up, and then I want to make sure that I'm coming back to my starting point. I'm just going to do a quick look there, make sure I'm nice and square again. You can double check your lines this way to make sure you're nice and square. And I'm going to come back to the point where I started. So now I've got half an arc and a heart. Then I'm going to come back to my beanie ruler again, line everything up in the center. I want to make sure my lines are nice and straight. I'm going to take one more stitch there just to get me all lined up. I want my lines across the bottom here, and I want to line up with my center. So my center line here is lined up and my flat across the bottom. That way I know that I'm going to do a complete circle, or half circle rather, sorry. and I'm going to come down to my line. I'm going to stop there, make sure my fabric's in the position I want it to, and slide my ruler over to do another one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stop when I reach that center point, and then I'm going to come and take my heart, and I'm doing the inside, and it doesn't matter whether you go left side first or right side first, it makes no difference. I'm going to do half a heart, stop there, flip my ruler back the other way, make sure I'm all nice and lined up. And if you've moved a bit and you need to adjust here, that's totally fine. You can absolutely do that. So then I'm going to go again, line up, make sure my center's lined up, my flat's lined up. And then I'm going to come along one more. And I'm going to stop when I get to this side. Now, because I'm only working on a small sample here, I'm only going to get 2 of these going across. So what I need to do then is I need to move straight up my quilt, and I can free motion this, or I can use the edge of another ruler if I've got one, or edgy 6, whatever ruler I've got. I want to go straight up that edge. And if you don't want to have your thread here, you can break your thread and start your next row. That's completely fine. So I kind of get part way up, and then I'll look and see where I need to be. Now, what I'm looking for is I want the line that goes through the hole here to be on top of this line here. And I want my center line to be on this line that I just did on my quilt. So essentially, I want my ruler to look so that it ends right here in the heart. So I have to go up a little bit more. So once I'm lined up, once I finish this here, and if you go too far, you can just take a couple stitches back. I've got my center line lined up on the line I just stitched, and I've got the line that goes through the hole on my ruler here. I've got the line that goes through the hole on my ruler here on top of the row I just stitched, on the peak of the one I just did. So now I know I'm all lined up. What I want to do is, I know at the peak of my ruler, or my clamshell, I want a heart. So I'm not going to be able to do a full heart here. I'm not going to be able to do a full heart. So I want to do just half a heart in this section. So I'm going to line this up, and I've got lines on Cupid to indicate where that center is. And I'm going to do my half heart. And you have the choice at this point of either stitching back down that straight line that you just did, or you can double stitch that heart, whichever works for you. I'm going to just use my straight edge. And again, you can use edgy 6 or whatever straight edge you've got. I want to go back to that peak. And then I'm going to line up my center line on my beanie and my line that goes through the hole on top of my heart, or my clamshell below. And then I'm going to do another line. And you want to end up right where this bottom heart is. Then I'm going to slide my ruler over, and I'm going to just now repeat this process over and over again until I finish my quilt. So I'm going to come back up to the peak, and I'm going to stop there. Then I'm going to do my heart again. I'm going to flip my ruler, and I'm going to come back down the other way. Stop when I get to that point. Line everything up here. If you have a dude, which is our little spacing guide. You can see and make sure you're going to end up in the right spot there. There's lots of other videos showing dude. I'm going to come back down here to my center point. And then I'm going to do one more here. And now I'm only going to stitch to half. So I'm going to stitch to the half point there. And now I'm going to do a heart, but I'm going to do a heart going on the inside. I always want it on the inside of my clamshell. So I can stop there. I can move my ruler out of the way. And I can do a nice straight line up to this point. So now I'm at the halfway point of that clamshell, and I know now that I can go ahead and put my next clamshell. I've already made the distance in the gap here. I've already made this distance here, so I can go ahead now and just start my next clamshell, and I'm going to show you how that looks like. So I'm holding my ruler, making sure everything's nice and square, coming up to the top, stopping at the center, moving that ruler to the side, doing a double heart, and then I'm going to flip this. To that point, then I'm going to move my Cupid to the other side and carry on. Oops, my beanie up the right way. Line everything up again and double check that I'm coming down to the right point here. You can see the design that we're making there. I'm going to line everything up again. Go up to the top. Stop there. Do my heart. There, flip my heart again. To the other side, and again, if you overshot a little bit or you went an extra stitch, just take one more stitch. It's totally fine. Nobody's going to notice that. Line everything up again. And come back to where I started. So I'm going to just turn this around so you can see what this is starting to look like here. So if you look here, now this is the design that we're coming up with. So it's like scallops with this beautiful heart in it. So it's easier to do if you start it upside down, I find, for this. So this is the design that you're going to end up with. And I think it's a really, really pretty overall design. I'm going to do a couple more rows here, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like when it's all done. So this is what it looks like with a few more lines done right off the machine. So that's one way. You could absolutely do it on your quilt this way. Or if you turn this, it's a bit of a different look. So you can choose which of these you want to do. Now you can also come along and add some extra stuff in each of these to spice this up a bit. You can do another larger heart in here to make it look a little bit different. So there's lots you can do. This just gives you the basic framework to start a really fun overall design that is fairly quick and easy to complete. Thanks everyone for checking out that video using the Beanie 8.4 and Cupid 5.3. It's a really quick overall design to put on your quilt, and you can get that quilt top done fast. Keep in mind that you can use any size of beanie for this. You just want to make sure that the heart will fit inside. So there's 2 different sizes of Cupids and there's 4 different sizes of beanies. You just want to make sure, so do it on a test piece first to make sure that they're all going to work out. And I hope that you enjoy this design and stay tuned for more quick overall designs. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to share this with your friends that are quilty, that would be greatly appreciated. Have an amazing day.